Alright, today we're going to talk about one of the strangest moments in the gospel, when Jesus healed people with spit. Yeah, the same Jesus who calmed storms with a word and raised the dead with a command, also healed people by spitting on them, which raises some questions. Why did he do that? Was there deeper meaning? And should we be worried if our pastor tries this? In Mark 8:23 it says, "Taking the blind man by the hand, he brought him out of the village, and after spitting on his eyes and laying his hands on him, he asked him, 'Do you see anything?'" And then also in John 9:6-7, it states, "When he had said this, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle and applied the clay to his eyes and said to him, 'Go wash in the pool of Siloam.' So he went away and washed and came back saying." We've seen in the past Jesus healing people all the time just by speaking. So why go the extra step of using spit and mud? First off, spit wasn't as gross back then as it is today. In ancient times, people actually believed saliva had healing properties. Even Roman writers like Pliny the Elder mentioned it, and Jewish culture had similar ideas. Some rabbis believed the saliva of a respected person had special power. So, Jesus might have been meeting people where they were, using a method they already associated with healing. But there's more to it than that. In John 9, Jesus spits on the ground, makes mud, and puts it on the blind man's eyes. That's a weird detail until you remember Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. "Then the Lord formed man of dust from the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being." God literally made Adam from dirt, and now Jesus, God in the flesh, using dirt again to restore what was broken. So it's not just about healing the man's sight, it's a new creation moment. Most of Jesus' miracles are instant, but in Mark 8, he spits on the man's eyes, touches him, and then asks if he can see. And at first, the guy says, "I see people, but they look like trees walking around." So Jesus lays his hands on him again, and then his vision is fully restored. Why this two-step process? Maybe Jesus was showing that spiritual sight, like physical sight, sometimes comes gradually. Or maybe he was just giving the guy time to adjust. Either way, it shows that Jesus wasn't just flexing his power. He was personally involved in the healing. So, why did Jesus spit to heal people? It wasn't random. It was a mix of meeting people where they were, showing creation power, and making the healing deeply personal. And sometimes, that's how God works in our lives too. We want instant results, but he takes us through a process, and sometimes he uses methods that don't make sense to us. Isaiah 55 verse 8, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, declares the Lord." Jesus could have just said, "Be healed," but instead he used spit. What do you think? Why do you think Jesus did it? Let me know in the comments, and if you're enjoying biblical breakdowns, hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for listening, and on to the next one.